Boeing's Starliner was supposed to be a game-changer in space travel. But what went wrong? Let's dive into the real problems that have plagued this ambitious project. A largely reusable spaceship called the Boeing Starliner, also called the CST-100 Starliner, is intended to carry crew members to the International Space Station and other low Earth orbit locations. It was unveiled in 2010 as a component of NASA's Commercial Crew Program, which aimed to encourage commercial enterprises to create crewed spacecraft following the Space Shuttle's retirement. In order to finish and certify the Starliner by 2017, Boeing was given a $4.2 billion contract. However, the program has encountered multiple delays and technical difficulties. Let's now examine the specifics of what went wrong with Boeing's Starliner. This ambitious project has been plagued by technical difficulties that have clouded its potential. What exactly are these problems, and why are they so important? Many technical problems have beset Boeing's Starliner, one of which was a timing error during the orbital flight test in December 2019. This error resulted in the spacecraft missing its intended orbit, causing costly fuel to be burned, and ultimately preventing it from reaching the International Space Station. Not only was this a small setback, but if there had been astronauts on board, it could have been disastrous. To fix this issue, Boeing had to collaborate closely with NASA. During pre-launch inspections in August 2021, it was discovered that 13 of the 24 valves in the spacecraft's propulsion system were blocked because moisture had become trapped inside of them. This caused corrosion and caused a significant delay. Even aerospace behemoths like Boeing may confront enormous obstacles, as these technological issues have demonstrated. The question is whether they can rise to the occasion and win back the public's and NASA's trust. When Boeing first announced Starliner, it expected to be operational by 2017. Today has come, and we're still waiting. What then transpired? The Starliner project has often experienced delays and budget overruns. Each test flight delay results in both a financial and schedule setback. The amount of money spent on fixing these problems has stretched Boeing's budget and tried NASA's tolerance. As Boeing suffers with these delays, SpaceX, its main rival, has demonstrated its dependability by successfully completing many missions to the International Space Station. Because they raise worries about the company's internal procedures and the difficulties of human spaceflight, these delays have also raised issues about Boeing's project management techniques. Even while it is supportive, NASA had to modify its own plans as a result of these delays, which had an effect on other missions, such as the ambitious Artemis program, which aims to bring people back to the moon and beyond. Boeing has a straightforward but difficult road ahead of them. They must resolve the technical problems and regain trust in their capacity to deliver. The fate of Boeing's involvement in NASA's Commercial Crew Program is uncertain. Despite a successful test flight, the Starliner program is not well received. February 2025 is the official launch date for the Starliner ship, but NASA is already planning to hedge its bets with the manned Dragon vehicle. SpaceX had originally planned to fly its Crew 10 mission late in the summer of next year, but the preparation schedule has been advanced to bring it in parallel with Starliner 1. Dragon may launch earlier to help with the crew transfer process. In 2030, a redesigned Dragon crew member from SpaceX will embark on the momentous mission of demolishing the International Space Station. NASA has chosen SpaceX to design and construct the US deorbit vehicle, which will guarantee the ISS's safe and controlled deorbit, mitigating any risk to inhabited regions. NASA will develop the deorbit spacecraft, own it, and use it for the duration of the mission. The spaceship and the International Space Station will demolish themselves as they re-enter the Earth's atmosphere during the re-entry process. The proposal to slow down the station and lower it into Earth orbit using Earth's natural air drag is described in a new white paper released by the space agency. The deorbit vehicle will launch a massive re-entry burn to force the International Space Station, ISS, into the atmosphere and settle to the bottom after the last crew member has been evacuated. Despite the prospect of a high-altitude orbit, NASA decided to demolish the International Space Station, ISS, rather than keep its $1 trillion structure intact. NASA's D-Orbit vehicle deal with SpaceX, potentially worth $843 million, demonstrates their dedication to a safe finish to the ISS mission and opens the door for future private ventures in low Earth orbit. For 24 years, the International Space Station, ISS, has been a unique study platform for Earth and space scientists doing microgravity research. Following the ISS, Axiom Space is building a station that will join it in 2026 and eventually separate from it, almost doubling the ISS's usable volume. Axiom Station will be used for research manufacturing and hosting as OTS NanoRx Voyager Space and Locked. Martin is also working on a project called Starlab, which features an inflatable habitat module that will launch in 2027 and host up to 4 crew members. These innovative stations will continue the legacy of the ISS and represent a giant leap in our journey to explore and inhabit outer space. Researchers are exploring an aquaponic system on Mars, which combines fish farming and hydroponics. The idea is to raise fish in tanks and use the nutrient-rich water to fertilize plants grown in the Martian soil. The atmosphere on Mars is 95% carbon dioxide, with a trace of Earth's density. However, the length of a day on Mars is similar to Earth's, and there is ice in Martian rocks that could potentially be used as a water source. The researchers set up an aquaponic system with tilapia fish, which helped generate nutrient-rich water, which was then used to fertilize Martian regolith. The results were amazing, and the idea of growing plants with fish tank water on Mars is promising. They were successful in producing a range of veggies, including potatoes, beans, carrots, and tomatoes. This creative solution additionally showed promise for Mars colonists, as well as for people who are living in harsh environments on Earth. But how exactly does this system work? The nutrient-rich water transformed the nutrient-poor Martian soil through something that could support plant life. The setup involved giving the fish enough light and other environmental stimuli, and the plants were grown in a tent that simulated the Martian environment. A symbiotic ecosystem is created by the sustainable farming technique known as aquaponics. The fish excrete waste, which microorganisms convert into nutrients that the plants then consume. It is a closed-loop structure that mimics natural ecosystems, making it perfect for an area like Mars where resources are few, which in turn help to filter the water for the fish. If this experiment is successful, there are intriguing new possibilities. Aquaponics has the potential to transform agriculture in harsh environments, and its implications go far beyond Mars. Future colonists on the planet could not only grow their own food, but also build a more sustainable and self-sufficient living environment. This is important for long-term missions and the ultimate goal of establishing an ongoing human settlement on Mars. In places where there is a shortage of space, like deserts or cities, it also provides a sustainable method of growing fresh food without the need for chemical fertilizers or a lot of water. In the future, when humans live on Mars, they may even be able to grow their own food with the assistance of a few amiable fish. The current study is a thrilling step toward turning Mars into a place where people may live instead of merely visit. It demonstrates that humankind can overcome the difficulties of living on other planets and build a sustainable future for itself, both on Earth and beyond, by using imagination and innovation. What do you think? Can Boeing turn it around? Drop your thoughts in the comments, hit the like button if you enjoyed this breakdown, and subscribe for more updates on the exciting world of space exploration. Thanks for watching.